Hey there, boys and gamers. Making another video on this dude. You feel me? If you haven't given a shit about this dude, I don't blame you, but messing with him was fun and his backlog has a lot of funny stuff in it, so I went through it. Drama with his exes.
I love hitting women.
Drama with his employers.
So I did get terminated from Walgreens.
Drama with Sony support.
And I already know I'm gonna talk to some fucking stupid Indian retard in about 3 hours on the fucking phone.
Yeah, the epic music is on. It's drama. Nut A-Logs were feasting a while ago with him saying he's going to ignore us.
I'm gonna ignore them, but I'm still gonna talk about it.
Followed by a 37-minute response video that creates more questions than answers. And Nut's strongest Janny Modev sweeping the chat with an iron broomstick.
Goodbye, Modev. We'll miss you. Your service is greatly needed in the Discord.
Nut's hilarious history has been briefly covered by some of Nut A-Logging's finest warriors, like Flampock, Dark Gamer 23 with a Joker profile picture, Phantom Outlaw, and one anonymous.
I clicked some random guy who joined my stream as one of the harassers. This guy had like 12 subscribers. Like, he doesn't even upload videos. He just had a 40-minute video on me.
Like the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, we may never know who this brave freedom fighter was. I believe Nut's crash out over that Discord drama was in fact nothing novel, and very on brand for Nut. It was simply the nexus that summoned forth all the would-be A-Logs to sift through the boring, dry riverbed that is Nut content, in order to find the flecks of gold. Nut has actually given us his blessing to discuss the old dramas.
Raping that girl is W rage bait, bro. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. Now make a video on it.
Thank you, Nut. I will be discussing the W Ragebait allegations. Before we get into it, I'm sorry for the stupid overlays. Nut doesn't seem like the striking type, but I just don't want to take any chances. Also, all of the clips that were on the archive channel and a bunch more are now on the channel called James Ronson. I didn't want edits of this dude, which most people probably don't want to see anyway, clogging up my archive channel. Without further ado, let's watch some bullshit. Nut would upload his first noteworthy video in July of 2020. Complaining about mouse and keyboard cheaters, which is indeed some bullshit, but I promise this is relevant.
Yo, you're fucking mouse and keyboard cheating on console, imagine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, bro, how shit are you for that, huh, buddy? Yeah, I stumped you with that one, huh? Yeah, I fucking stumped you, bro. Fucking cheating on console, you suck, nigga. Fucking use a controller.
These videos complaining about mouse and keyboard on console were his most popular by far, and these are where he gained most of his subscribers and fan base, which is kind of insane considering how fucking stupid complaining about mouse and keyboard on console is. He was never able to recapture the magic of complaining about mouse and keyboard on console. To this day, he still blames YouTube for his fall off.
Yeah, bro, I don't get recommended, my notifications barely go out. This channel's fucked.
Normally getting a bunch of views on stupid videos like that wouldn't be very criticizable, but he's always complaining about how he fell off. So it's really funny that the peak of his career was at the very beginning of his career, and it was something so silly. I'm not gonna spend too long on these super old videos because he was only 17 or 18 when he posted these, but there's a few funny moments back in here, and some of the classic Nut memes have apparently been going on for 5 or 6 years. Even at the inception of his channel, he was complaining about YouTube censorship holding him down. Now this is just an age restriction, which just means you get less views and ads, so it really doesn't matter. Unless you're Nut, and you'll see in a little while why he really needed that money. In his defense, this is when Susan Wojcicki was still CEO of YouTube, and censorship on YouTube was a lot more strict. We'll talk more about the censorship later because it definitely got worse for him in the future. Even back then, he would read arguments on other websites. Here's an old Reddit video.
People on the internet, like, no one can accept when they're wrong.
Now, to be fair, in this video he was clearly making fun of the Redditors and he was not crashing out. And the video entertains his audience. Unlike the Discord crash out, where the most entertaining part is watching his crash out and not laughing at the Discord users like he claims. Okay, I lied a little bit. He admits to being salty in this video.
I'd just like to point out the reason I'm so salty, like all these people are mentioning, and why I'm acting like a fucking loser apparently, is because I like to play this game.
What's even funnier is this Reddit video got a follow-up where he addresses the user Casual Sports Coat again.
This nigga responded again? Oh my god. This nigga responded again? Oh my god.
My favorite part of the video is that the Redditor pulls the Uno reverse card and accuses Nut of breaking the TOS instead.
The only person in these videos that has actually breached any of the Ubisoft code or conduct was nut kicking.
Because he said a homophobic slur in game. Wait, was the Redditor right? I'm kidding, who cares? Apparently the great debate about whether or not he's allowed to say the N-word, which people just bring up nowadays to troll him, has been going on for literally 6 years.
You also say the N-word. Oh my god. The past 17 years, dude. I thought I was black when I came out of my black dad's black penis. But I was wrong.
Let's get into possibly the most serious allegation of his entire career.
Alright, boys and gamers, about to speedrun Minecraft. I've actually never beaten Minecraft before.
So he plays Minecraft for the first time, I assume because Minecraft speedrunning was popular back then. This video is a joke, of course, because he just unceremoniously dies to an Enderman at the end, but it winds up not being a joke. I noticed that he doesn't have any other Minecraft videos on his channel. I used AI to transcribe all of his videos and streams, which has been invaluable in putting this video together. I searched the word Minecraft with and without a space. Anyways, none of these mentions of Minecraft are about him playing Minecraft. I don't think he's ever killed the Ender Dragon or built anything cool in Minecraft ever. I don't think he's played Minecraft beyond that first time. And he calls himself an epic gamer? Where's his Minecraft gameplay? My credentials are legit. I played Apex and Minecraft at the same time, got Masters in Apex, which is a rank that he's never achieved. Epic gamer. The audacity to call himself an epic gamer. I built a village. I built a sugarcane and bamboo farm complete with a cart system and a cart unloader. I bed mined in the nether for netherite. I got griefed by Flampock. It wasn't Flampock, he was framed. I farmed a shit ton of cows. Here's a screen you've never seen before, Mr. Nut. Take it in. Epic gamer. You're no epic gamer. You're a fake gamer. Anyways, that's why my overlay says address the Minecraft allegations. The one pump chump allegations are, of course, a reference to this classic meme.
Nigga, I couldn't last a minute and 10 seconds. I am using the mouse and keyboard. Don't worry, this game supports it. I didn't buy a $150 adapter.
In a stream that would become deeply ironic later, Nut raids a female streamer and one of his viewers posts a joke in her chat.
But this guy below says Nut wants your number, and she took this seriously.
He, of course, gets rejected.
Now you gonna talk to me like that? Now it's disrespectful.
One thing you'll realize through this video is that Nut feels obligated to respond to anything he perceives as being disrespectful. It's amazing he's been able to keep that behavior up for 5 or 6 years.
Can you take one joke? One joke! One joke, please. Please. They don't actually think you're gonna hook up with me. Holy shit. Hard pass. When he said, hey, Nut wants your number, he's not being serious, you fucking... He's not being serious.
Yeah, if you call him a one pump chump, ask about the 1 minute 10 seconds, talk about the activate Windows watermark, or ask him if he's allowed to say the N-word, you'll get banned from his chat now. His beef with Gunny Clan is another ancient classic. This is from a video where he complains that Ubisoft isn't banning stream snipers.
If you see anyone named Gunny on your team, or on the other team, just know they have no social life outside of Siege, and drop a big fuck you to them. Just say fuck you. Y'all have seen it on my Twitch, that fucking, the Gunny clan. They said they're gonna rape my mom. They're gonna kill her. They're gonna kill my little sister.
The reason I'm bringing up some of these less interesting ancient dramas is because Nut is always going on about how long the drama has been going on, and isn't it been too long, guys? You need to give it up. The Gunny Clan thing started 5 years ago, dog. On September 11th, 2021, yes, 9/11. In fact, the 20th anniversary of 9/11, Nut would commit a terrorist attack against Garfield as Doc, a Siege YouTuber.
See, I already knew he stole my shit 8 months ago. Kind of killed the niche, a lot of people did. Just completely butchered the video. Yeah, that's why I stopped wanting to even make the M&K videos. Cause niggas like this.
So he accuses Garfield as Doc of stealing his idea of reacting to M&K on console. I did a quick search for videos with the title reacting to M&K on console uploaded before Nut's first video reacting to M&K on console. And Nut is indeed correct here. He invented the title... He invented the title of reacting to M&K on console. Woo, let's go! W Nut, big ups. In Nut fashion, however, any W would shortly be followed by an L. Here's a video from 2 weeks later where he's complaining about stream snipers again.
You realize I could in your fucking with my bare hands? You realize that? You squeaker little fuck. you would not say shit in my fucking face, nigga. I guarantee that. So chill with those words, but keep talking that shit behind the fucking screen, you little fucking pussy.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Now, he was only 18 or 19 here, so I'm not going to dunk on him too hard for this one. I also want you to keep in mind that that censorship at the beginning was his. This will become relevant later. Let's skip forward a year to when Nut has drama with Sony support. He changed his phone number and can no longer receive two-factor authentication codes to his phone. And it's pretty funny.
Except I didn't change my fucking phone number when I switched it. So now I'm like, shit. What the fuck am I supposed to do about this? Resend code? You're fucking sending it to the wrong number, so shit. You don't give any other fucking option here. What about this? Sign in with PlayStation app? Didn't have it downloaded. But you know, let's see, scan QR code. Let me try it on my phone real quick. Please enter two-factor authentication. Wow. Enter one of your backup codes. Let me check my fucking pocket. I don't have a backup code. What the fuck do you mean backup code? Authenticator app? Huh? I tried that. I can't log in still because I need the fucking code. And I already know I'm gonna talk to some fucking stupid Indian retard in about 3 hours on the fucking phone.
Here's a video where he argues with a gay furry on Twitter about Overwatch.
But this fucking dude quote tweets what I put out. I have fucking the most kills in the game. Everyone else is fucking literally garbage. And we're getting fucking destroyed, no one's switching. So I get a little angry. Oh my fucking god! Do people not use their brains in this fucking game? It's not working! Switch! Uses Coalescence way too early without any teammates nearby to get value. Even so, they had Doom on bot. This nigga typed a whole essay out. I was not lying. Oh, and ball players know what they're doing. Clearly not. The dude played like 4 different tanks because he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. He was on ball because they were about to win, and he was trying to contest. Enemy lines of sight included your spawn. So best thing for ball to do is go back. Sorry that I have a gay voice, I just imagine this guy's fucking gay. What the fuck? Fuck you, whoever tweeted at me. I'm better than you at Moira. Don't try to tell me how to play Moira. Or the game at all, because I'm fucking better than you. You fucking bitch.
I just can't imagine clicking a guy's profile and seeing Hanzo's fat ass cheeks and then thinking, yeah, I'm still gonna rage out at this guy. Now, the rage in these videos is obviously performative, but I thought I would include a couple of clips of him being fake mad because later he would claim that parts of his Discord Crashout were just rage bait. Let's move forward a bit again to the first dark moment in the Nut timeline. Nut would get 2 community guideline strikes at the same time, and he did not handle it well. The same thing actually happened to me that year. I responded by just re-uploading all my videos to my archive channel and editing some of the spicier ones. Now, my videos weren't censored because I didn't give a shit, but Nut was worried about his monetization. So I have no idea why he wasn't censoring his. He knew he needed to censor certain things, like earlier when he said he was going to take that guy's life with his bare hands. I don't understand posting clips of people saying the hard R in Rainbow Six Siege and then complaining that YouTube won't run ads on it. Now, Nut had a second channel prior to this, but he didn't post there, presumably because he needed the ad revenue from his main channel. As he explains in this video, he's down bad with no job and considering going homeless, even though he lives with his parents, so really he was gonna be fine. In this insanely depressing video, he shows everybody his YouTube ad revenue. For every year that he's been on YouTube, if you tally it all up, you get $5,360, plus another $2,000 he said he made on Twitch. Not bad at all for a side hobby. Normally people get paid $0 to play video games. They actually pay because they have to buy the games. Anyways, what better way to showcase this video than to use the intro effects that Nut was criticizing me for reusing. Enjoy.
Yeah, so let me start off. Yeah, my channel's been gone for a while. I had 2 strikes over some fucking bullshit. When this video got taken down, I'll be honest, I was down terrible. I cried. I didn't have a job at the time. I have a job now. But this one, like, I didn't have a job. I didn't have any money. I never have any money. Damn, first YouTuber to record his own fall off video. This is crazy. Hopefully this video comes out. Yeah. I lost a lot of motivation. It's because, dude, I see Jinxie, and Jinxie averages like 10k viewers. The fucking cheating M&K dude gets however many viewers. They're like the top of Twitch. Like, dude, when that's the top of Twitch, how do I compete? I don't have enough fucking energy fake energy or whatever to just, I don't know. I just can't do that. I can't, man. When I tell you guys I was down bad for that video, Jesus. Like, I had $150 in my bank account, 160. Dude, I was trying so hard to get a job for like the past year. I just couldn't get a job. That's why I just get so pissed seeing these fake fucking losers doing the best. Dude, I had $160. When this video got removed, I literally, because my cousin lives in a different city, like I've said before, I want to do MMA, but he's in a different city. So I was literally about to go homeless to move to a different city. Dude, they lied straight to my face. They said, we'll call you back. We'll call you back the same day. I never got a call back. I got an email like a week later saying I didn't get the job. But if I would have got that job, I literally Ubered, because I didn't have a car. I literally Ubered fucking over $100. So I had like 50 something dollars left. And I had my sleeping bag. I had the fucking maps all mapped out and shit, where the gym was so I could shower, and a fucking laundromat so I can wash my clothes. I had my backpack ready. I was fucking ready to literally go homeless and get an apartment or something after however long. That's how damn bad I was, but that never happened. So now I'm just here with the job again, trying to move out eventually. And I've never said like thank you to the people that have always supported me, you know, because I would have quit YouTube a while ago, fully. But, you know, there's always the nice comments, the nice DMs, so thank those people. Thank you, truly. Fuck, now I gotta make more videos. I can't have this sad ass ending as my final video.
Before you guys laugh or say anything, remember that this is something he expressed himself, and he's literally the one that told us that.
Thanks for using something I already expressed against me? Was that supposed to get me, my nigga? Like, I'm literally the one who told you that.
So please don't use anything he expressed against him. What a moron. Anyways, this idiot bought the battle pass during the time period he was unemployed.
Okay, I got my operator. I was about to say, I'm pretty sure I spent like $60 to get the fucking battle pass.
He would have been $60 richer and had $120 in his bank account at the end of that story if he hadn't bought the battle pass. To make it even funnier, the battle pass sucked.
Where's the battle pass? What do you mean? Where the fuck is the battle pass? This shit was $60. Where's my battle pass? Where is my battle pass? Why is it blurred out? How do you release a new season without a fucking battle pass? Now I can check out the battle pass. Alright. Huh? Buy levels? What do you mean buy levels? What the fuck is happening? What am I looking at? Oh my god, this has to be the shittiest battle pass system I've ever seen in my life. What the fuck am I looking at? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Why is this so complicated? What am I looking at? Choose your paths?
In a moment that perfectly encapsulates what the Siege playing experience is like, he gets a connection error while trying to make sense of the battle pass.
Connection failure. Okay, dude.
One of Nut's favorite pastimes is going into Siege and telling people they need to get a girlfriend, get a job, get a life, etc. And you can bet your ass that behavior didn't stop while he was unemployed.
Trash.
And I get strangled. Actually, it's gonna go on YouTube.
This thing is a no-life?
He calls the guy a no-life because of his in-game stats just 4 months before he tells everybody that he was considering going homeless. I'm not sure exactly when he was considering going homeless, but here's a clip from 2 months before the video where he informs everybody.
This is champ gameplay, nigga. You fucking suck,
Your life sucks, nigga. Shut the fuck up.
Suck, nigga.
Dumb bitch.
Your life sucks, dumb bitch. Dies, followed by brutal chair squeak.
Now, you must recover the diffuser.
Bro, I never see anyone else's stream like this, so why do I get the fucking dick riders 24/7? Yeah, he looked like he was MK. I mean, is that even a fucking question at this point? This dude's a fucking loser.
Now that Nut finally had a job, things were looking up for him, and the following year, 2024, would be a really great year. Just fucking kidding, 2024 was possibly the worst year of Nut's life, with multiple crying streams, losing his job at the Walgreens, and 2 messy breakups with crazy Latino women, just months apart, both of whom accused him of harassment and stalking and dragged him to court for domestic violence restraining orders.
I love hitting women! I don't need consent.
So, Reggie, Show him who's the best in the family.
Neither one of these women accused him of hitting them, but how can I not put on the footage of him sparring? It's funny, I'm just being a dick. Anyways, I honestly wasn't even going to cover this very in depth when I was originally starting to make this video, but while I was working on it, he released a 37-minute response video that was so bad, it made me think, I have to go back and look at this shit, because there might be something to it. As an example.
Anyways, I was getting called a domestic abuser because I had a restraining order that she lost the restraining order as well, by the way, but we'll just ignore that part.
He did in fact beat one of his cases, but there was two.
Got me a restraining order. Just know, took the L on that one, I guess.
Even in his response video, he lets it slip that he lost one of his cases.
I only had one more as another restraining order. You can say I lost, I got 1 year.
I'll try to analyze the validity of these DVROs later. Whenever this subject comes up, Nut always goes, I won my case, and he acts like we're stupid.
Go on Google, nigga. Look at domestic violence restraining order. It's either that or a civil one, and it's not a civil case. God damn, like what? And she literally fucking lost. So what's the accusation? Yo, oh my. Yo, nah, this is rage bit. You're getting banned.
He also references this.
And they said I had 2 more court cases. I only had 1 more as another restraining order.
Now the reason we thought he had 3 cases was his own words. This is from a Flampock video.
No, not from Flampock.
Hey, yo, just a little update, bro. I know I'm crying, but these are tears of joy.
Neighbor.
Finally got some type of justice, bro. I beat the case. 1 down, 2 to go, bro.
W censorship of the N-word and Garfield Kart background gameplay there, bro. And I'm playing Garfield Kart because I asked Flampock what background gameplay I should use, and he responded by giving me Garfield Kart. Big ups, pimp.
I love hitting women. Oh, so they said they kept saying I had 2 more court cases, even though I said 1 lying bitch down, 1 out of 2. They think that means 2 more. That means 1 out of 2. Did we pass like simple fucking common sense in school?
Those statements aren't actually contradictory. 1 bitch down out of 2 means there's 1 bitch left, and she might have potentially brought 2 more cases against him. We thought there might have been a potential 3rd case that he was hiding because it was particularly bad. After analyzing this, it's clear that there's only 2 court cases. If there's one thing Nut doesn't do, it's hide embarrassing information about himself or others from the internet. So he probably just misspoke here. We're sorry for trusting your word, Nut. But bannable, surely this is easily fact-checkable, right? Behold, a James Ronson edit that I've just titled the full 2024 drama, since the drama spans almost the entire year of 2024. This is probably 8 hours of content across 7 different videos and live streams, all compiled in one place. And it's an edit I made for people to be able to go and watch all of this in one place and form their own conclusion about Nut's words. While it's not nearly as tightly edited as a typical James Ronson edit where I condense a 6-hour live stream into 15 minutes, I wanted to leave all of the context in. And even after editing it down, it's still 2 hours. And one of the videos is missing because of a privacy complaint from one of his exes. If that was included, it would be even longer. Why am I talking about how long this edit is? Whenever people bring up his past dramas, he constantly tells them to just go back and watch his old videos, claiming that he's already addressed it.
Other than that video, everything is fucking right there for you to watch. Go watch it yourself. Also, no time has to be taken. You can probably look up all these questions you're asking me by yourself.
Nut never tells us which specific old video to watch, just that we should go back and watch them. Nut doesn't realize he's handing anybody who he tells this a mountain of homework. Or worse yet, he does realize how convoluted and lengthy this drama is, and he knows that it would be difficult to make a coherent criticism of his behavior during this drama without going back and analyzing the entire thing. The elephant in the room here, of course, is that most of these people are posting this in his chat to just troll him. They don't give a fuck about what he did in 2024, they have no idea what he did in 2024, they just know if they post about it, he sees. To make sense of this, you have to dig through his archive and figure out which videos you need to watch. You also have to watch a few really depressing hours of him crying. And to give you an idea,
I can't lie, yo. I really loved this girl, bro. I really did.
Yeah, they were a really painful watch. Nut also constantly complains that this drama is old and that we shouldn't care about it anymore. But if he really was a domestic abuser, there wouldn't be a statute of limitations beyond which we would stop mocking him for being a domestic abuser. What's funny is the events that he blames for his fall off are actually older than the domestic violence restraining order drama. Shouldn't he have moved on by now?
Yeah, bro, I don't get recommended, my notifications barely go out. This channel's fucked.
Hopefully that long-ass preamble convinced you that it was worth it to go back and take a look at this. Let's put together a timeline of events and a description of some of the characters to make this easier to follow. In February or March of 2023, he would get a job at what we would later learn to be a Walgreens. We know this from the March 2023 Crashout that I showed earlier. Now, he worked at Walmart first and switched to Walgreens later.
Luckily, my Walmart check hit. Guys, I haven't worked at Walmart in 3 years.
But to make this easier, we're just going to call it the Walgreens job. There's two main female characters here, one who we're just going to call X and one who we're just going to call Coworker. Nut has shown their names and faces, but I'm just going to give them nicknames. They are both Latinas. And the racial analysis matters because of this classic meme.
Nigga, I pull Asians in real life, you don't pull shit.
Spoiler alert, I know of 4 Nut X's and only one of them is Asian. AI thinks Nut is Caucasian, funnily enough, which I suppose is half true. But it probably went with Caucasian because the blackest thing about him in this image is his room. Anyways, let's try and get a better understanding of this cast of characters.
Her butthole is hairy as fuck. She was Latina, guys. Like, give her a break, bro.
Alright, hairy butthole, we'll note that down.
Her pussy, the last time we did anything, her pussy did taste really bad. And I told her, I asked her, she like, okay, I won't get too deep into it.
Thanks for not getting too deep into it. I mean, the stuff he decides to share with the internet is just amazing, man. Well, let's write that down. Bad tasting pussy.
I'm low-key, I low-key like my coworker more than my ex. Because at least my coworker wasn't a libtard. And she had, like, way bigger titties.
So X is a libtard, and Coworker isn't. We'll just call that based. And she has, like, way bigger titties. Remember to not bring this up, guys.
I'm literally the one who told you that.
The first video in this drama is a cry stream from July 30th. Now let's lay some groundwork in order to establish the events that occurred prior to this cry stream. We'll discuss this screenshot later when we get to the August stream. For now, just note that Nut and X started dating in February of 2024.
The first time we broke up?
According to Nut, they broke up and got back together again multiple times. It's unclear how many times they broke up or what the time frames of these breakups were. According to Nut, the first time they broke up was because X revealed that she was cheating on her last boyfriend, and Nut really wanted to know who it was that she cheated with, and X wouldn't tell him.
So we broke up the first time because...
Gonna skip some here because it takes him 5 minutes to explain this story, but you can go to the James Ronson channel if you really want to see it.
Fuck my girl when she had a boyfriend. That's kind of important information for me to know, you know? And so I'm like, alright bro, if you don't give me the Instagram, we're done, bro.
The reason for the final breakup is also unclear. Now because Nut thinks he's fucking Quentin Tarantino or some shit, he shoots his feature-length film out of chronological order, so you have to go to this video from August to hear the full discussion of why they broke up for the final time. His first cry stream about his breakup with X was on July 30th, but we know that the final breakup was on May 29th because he tells us.
So remember in my video I said we broke up May 29th?
So we'll note down that Nut had his final breakup with X on May 29th. Nut would continue to try to talk to X after this, but he admits that they had broken up on May 29th, so we'll take his word for it. Now the reason for this final breakup is unclear, and frankly I consider the debate between the two of them about who broke up with who and why to be part of the August drama. In the August drama, we would get this legendary cope, though.
So you didn't break up with me, I broke up with you at that point.
You didn't break up with me, I broke up with you, actually. In the July 30 cry stream, Nut briefly mentions Coworker.
It's female problems, bro. You know, you be going through it. Bitch that cheat at work and shit.
We'll talk about Coworker cheating at work when we get to the August part of this drama because it's not really relevant to the July 30 cry stream. When I can tell, the details of when he started hooking up with Coworker are in the video that was taken down. But in this video from November of 2025, Nut complains about the privacy complaint and shows just some of the evidence that was posted in the video that was taken down. This means to put this drama together, you not only have to watch videos from the era, but you also have to know to watch this video from almost a year after the drama ended. Anyway, we know that Nut started texting with Coworker as early as May 31st, so we'll just say that they started dating in June. We now have a timeline of all the major events that occurred prior to the July 30 cry stream. You might be wondering why Nut would even stream himself crying in the first place. Well, Nut actually explains it. In his later cry streams, a lot of people would accuse him of doing this for sympathy, and he did stream this cry stream on July 30th and then later clip it out separately, so it seems plausible. However, I think the actual truth is much sadder.
I don't got no one to talk to, bro. I'm being for real. That's why I like streaming for y'all.
Yeah, he has no friends in real life that he can talk to about this. It's really sad and lonely, man. He even calls it therapy.
I'm not gonna lie, that's why I started streaming, bro. That's why I needed to talk to someone. Like, this is my therapy right now.
You might think A-logging this guy crying so hard is really cruel, and I kind of agree, but Nut literally told me to do this.
Can y'all watch the videos? Like,
a lot of this stream is about conversations that Nut had with X on the phone. The reason this phone conversation even happened in the first place is very important to the story.
She called me at work yesterday because I posted something about her on Twitter. It wasn't even bad.
Now these tweets are deleted, so we only have Nut's word to go off of about what these tweets were. But his word is honestly damning enough to show that he was doing something wrong here. In the August stream, Nut explains what he posted.
So on Twitter, I'm like, alright, I'm gonna post a screenshot. I forgot what it was exactly. It was something about her boyfriend that cheated on her. I'm like, she'd rather be with a nigga that cheats on her over and over.
Nut posted screenshots of DMs where X was venting to him about her previous relationships. He says it's not bad, but it's not his old relationships. He's literally not the one who can make that determination. Now, Nut would actually do this multiple times, and because these tweets are deleted, it's impossible to know exactly what he posted and when. But frankly, I think the exact timing of the post doesn't really matter for the story. The main point is that Nut would post personal information about X on Twitter, and then offer to take it down in exchange for an unblock.
Tied over some shit I posted on Twitter. It honestly was not that bad. Before I called again, she told me to delete the thing on Twitter and she'll unblock me.
X offered to unblock him in exchange for him taking the tweet down because this wasn't the first time that this happened.
Because last time I deleted something on Twitter, she unblocked me and then blocked me right after. So this time I'm like, you gotta unblock me first. So boom, that shit happened.
Now X clearly didn't want anything to do with Nut anymore and wanted him to stay blocked. So the first time this happened and Nut wanted her to unblock him, X pulled a fast one and got him to delete the tweet first, unblocked him so that she technically upheld her end of the bargain, and then immediately blocked him afterwards. Now how does Nut respond to this trickery?
I don't know what I reposted the shit back on Twitter because I screenshotted it because I figured she was gonna lie.
Once he gets blocked again, the tweets just go right back up.
And I posted some other shit about other private details, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know what's so hard for this moron to get. She doesn't want her personal details posted online, dude. She told you she just wanted to be left alone.
And before that, she told me, leave me alone forever. Alright? These are words that came out of her mouth. Leave her alone forever.
Not one to be fooled twice, Nut made her unblock him first this time. We'll get into why Nut was so desperate for an unblock later, but for now I just want you to keep in mind that the reason this phone conversation is occurring is because Nut keeps posting personal information about X. Now X is crazy too, and we'll get into that later, but I just want to put this up front to show that Nut is not just simply a victim of crazy bitches. He's willing to air people's dirty laundry in exchange for petty things like being unblocked. Anyways, back to the phone conversation. Nut describes the way that he was speaking to X on the phone. He acts like he's some sort of eloquent speaker, a linguist, a master orator, a debate lord, It's just painfully cringe. Watch this shit.
So I start talking shit back, bro. And then when I start talking shit, you know how I get on the microphone, bro. I will cook you, nigga. I will play with your mind. I will ruin your day and your night, bro.
Stop the fucking cap. I've listened to this man speak for hours. There ain't no way he speaks differently in real life than he does online. This dude is a tard. Anyways, that clip isn't even the funniest one where he talks about how well-spoken he is. Check out this one.
Because she doesn't like to talk on the phone because I make sense, you know. My way of speaking, I'm like prime Adolf Hitler, bro, on the stands. Like I can put like make niggas think smartly.
I can make neighbors think smartly. Anyways, Nut, what are your thoughts on random idiots comparing themselves to Hitler?
Hey, bro, this is gonna sound crazy what I'm about to say, but do not disrespect Hitler like that, bro. You're not on that level. Alright? I will play with your mind.
Now, Nut actually gives us an example of how he was playing mind games with X and trolling her smartly.
I'll be honest, I didn't really threaten to show her nudes. But I mean, I was trolling a little bit, you know? I was trying to fuck with her mind, because that's what everyone's been doing to me recently.
What the hell is wrong with you, man? How is that a funny troll? And of course, if you tell her that, she's gonna believe it. Both of you guys were crashing out and yelling at each other on the phone and shit, according to you. He is right about the Hitler thing, though. I do remember this classic Hitler speech. Stop talking shit to me on the phone or I will post your hairy butthole for the world to see. The hairy butthole clip I used earlier is literally from this moment where he was talking about the revenge porn threat.
So, you know, I was trying to get some revenge, bro. You know, I just want some revenge and shit. Obviously, I'm not gonna post her nudes or nothing. Her butthole is hairy as fuck.
Even just describing the nude seems like some sort of breach of privacy, to be honest. Like, what the fuck, man? This is the guy that gives us lectures on how to troll correctly, by the way.
That's like the art of trolling, bro. You don't even understand.
I'm not gonna sit here and pontificate what constitutes good trolling, but I wouldn't even call this trolling. You literally said you did this to get revenge. Basically, this isn't a joke. This is just something you said to hurt her feelings because you were upset. Nut, what are your thoughts on threatening to post revenge porn as a troll?
This isn't even like funny trolling. This is like just being a fucking weirdo asshole.
I couldn't agree more. That guy sounds like a weirdo asshole to me.
I'm not trying to sound corny, but I'm a good nigga, bro. Until you make me not one.
I'm a good neighbor, bro, until you get on my bad side, and then I threaten to post your butthole online. And it's no wonder she would take it seriously because you were in the middle of a crash out, and how is she supposed to know that that particular part of the crash out wasn't real? Nut gives us some examples of what X said to him that prompted this revenge porn threat.
She was talking hella shit on the phone too. Like, for no reason.
Oh, fucking stop it. Don't act like it was for no reason, bro. Anyways, she disrespected Nut, so now it was time to go crazy. Let's hear what some of that Nut disrespect was.
Tell me if I'm in the right or not. Because she makes me sound like a fucking crazy fucking incel retard. That's how she paints me.
Crazy incel retard? Hairy butthole time? No, Nut, you actually make yourself sound like a crazy incel. You were begging for her to unblock you.
She called me weird. She's like, I hope all your subs, I hope you show them how weird you truly are.
Oh man, she called him a weirdo? Hairy butthole time. I honestly wasn't coming into this segment thinking I was gonna wind up agreeing with X, but crazy incel retard weird. She may not be Prime Hitler, but she is spitting straight fucking facts.
I don't got anyone to talk to except my stream.
Now there is one tweet with personal information that does still exist from this time period. And do you want to guess what it's about? Yep, on June 14th, 2024, he was tweeting about her hairy asshole. Now, I can't tell if X was actually upset by the hairy butthole thing, because Nut does this annoying thing in the August stream where he sits there and reads stuff, but he doesn't expand the screenshots or press read more, so there's a lot of stuff that they wrote that I just wasn't able to read. Nut also obfuscates exactly what she's mad about and what he posted by referring to things he posted as simply the thing on Twitter.
Told me to delete the thing on Twitter and she'll unblock me.
Now, while the hairy butthole tweet is fucking hilarious, it's actually very nefarious in context. It makes the revenge porn threats far worse because Nut has already told the world that she has a hairy butthole, and now he's threatening to just post pictures of it. Now, I've been talking about some pretty heavy topics for a while, and I want to inject some levity. This video is about a dude who just gets trolled on the internet after all. But don't worry, what I'm going to show is related to the hairy butthole. Back when Nut was complaining about his guideline strikes on YouTube, he made a video called Funny YouTube Double Standards, and he actually watched the video where the guy shows you how to nair your asshole.
So this dude straight up shows his fucking asshole, his hairy asshole, and his fucking nutsack swinging in my face.
The information you needed was right at your fingertips, Nut. Why didn't you just send her that video? You had the knowledge, you had the power, you could have done it for her. It didn't have to be this way, Nut. You could have de-haired the hairy asshole. X would claim in some post made after this live stream that the reason Nut was so desperate for an unblock is because he wanted to get back with her. Nut would claim in the August 26th stream that it's just because he needed somebody to talk to.
I just wanted to talk, like, you know, because I'm going through a situation at work. I just wanted someone to talk to.
He just wanted to talk to her. If you look at the timestamp of this voice message that he sent her, it's July 20th, predating the July 30 Cry stream by 10 days. This message contains very insightful rhetoric that could only come from somebody who's on the level of Prime Hitler.
I'm like Prime Adolf Hitler, bro.
No, bro. Why? Why you block me, bro? I mean, obviously, hey, I just want to talk to, you know, but I don't get why you're blocking me. I literally just want to talk to you like all day, bro. I don't know.
I will play with your mind.
Future bannable here. He was trying to get back with his ex, but I'm not gonna redo this section of the video again, man. I'm tired, boss. In my opinion, Nut's probably telling the truth here, and the truth is incredibly pathetic. Nut literally has no one in his life to talk to about his problems. And so he comes crawling back to the only person he ever connected to.
It's the only person I really talk to, bro. That's probably why. That's why I'm crying. It's the only person I ever connected to.
Normally it would be cruel to mock a man in this state, but these tears are a result of his own actions, such as posting private details about his girlfriend on Twitter and threatening to release her nudes as a troll. Nut explains that X is the only one who understands what his tattoos mean.
She's literally the only person on this earth that knows what my tattoos mean at all, bro. and that shit was all for nothing.
Nuts never had a friend close enough that he could tell them about his tattoos.
Your life sucks, nigga. Shut the fuck up.
Don't make fun of him, guys.
Thanks for using something I already expressed against me? Was that supposed to get me, my nigga?
She might have been willing to talk to you if you hadn't shared her private information. I don't know.
She also called me a weirdo because of my Twitter. I like to post how I'm feeling in the moment so I could look back at it. She called me a weirdo for that.
New nut roast, old nut.
No. We know why you're weird, little bro.
You're not weird for posting how you're feeling in the moment. Were you feeling her asshole hairs in the moment when you posted this? No, you're weird for posting that at all and then just lying to your audience and acting like that never happened. Near the end of the stream, when he's in his feels, he finally concedes that he is in fact weird.
You call me weird, and if I'm gonna be honest, I am a weird nigga, bro. I'm so closed off.
Before we move on from this stream and into the August drama, there's one more clip I'd like to bring up.
And she told me that she's been watching my streams.
X actually has a great reason to be watching your streams, because you keep airing her dirty laundry, or dirty butthole to the internet. She wants to know what you've been saying, and she wants you to stop saying it, most importantly. Later we would find out she was putting together a court case against him over this. I probably got some details wrong in that story, but it's impossible to understate just how difficult it is to sift through this man's lies, downplaying of his own actions, and gaslighting to put together a story that even resembles the truth. I think in reality the truth is actually far worse than Nut is letting on here, but we'll never know. Let's take a page out of Nut's book and read some fucking tweets, I guess. He posted this after the live stream ended. This tweet is actually mildly infuriating to read after you go through this whole story and realize that he was manipulating her as hard as he could, posting private information about her and offering to take it down in exchange for an unblock, and threatening to release her nudes in order to just make her scared. In this tweet from August 17th, Nut refers to X watching his live streams as stalking. He also complains about her repeatedly unblocking him and then blocking him again. I'm not sure how he knows that he's being unblocked unless he goes to her profile and sees that he isn't blocked. I'm pretty sure he was also stalking her Twitter profile. And he attaches a screenshot where he sent her a completely unhinged message, honestly. In the replies, a user asked what happened, and Nut explains he raw dogged a selfish, pathological liar, which I can only assume to mean masturbation. No, I'm playing. It is funny that he fucked this crazy chick raw and told everybody about it. The user also tells Nut he should just troll, and I guess that guy didn't watch the live stream because Nut did troll by threatening to post revenge porn. On August 25th, Nut would post two different tweets that contain screenshots of messages between him and X. The one on the left is messages where Nut claims that X threatened to call CPS on his little brother. The one on the right is simply captioned, "Careful what you put your meat into, boys." We're gonna discuss the one on the left that contains the CPS threats first. These screenshots have already been shown in a video from Flampock.
No, not from Flampock.
Weird as fuck, at bullet full of pain.
Wait, how did he read that at?
Bullet full of pain.
I'm just busting his balls. I keep bringing up these Flampock videos because while they were generally low effort and had some details in them that we would later learn to be incorrect, he was posting them in a timely fashion and keeping the Discord drama going for as long as possible, and it was fucking Pino. Flampock correctly assesses that the screenshots Nut shared in that tweet do not show X threatening his little brother like he claimed. I promise I'm going somewhere with this. Let me cook.
So just like the last Twitter post, when I tried searching up at bullet of pain on Twitter, nothing came up. It says the profile does not exist. I'll put the screenshots here on screen. You feel free to read them. They don't really seem like anything worth reading, so I'm not going to.
This CPS threat would be a big point of discussion in the August 26th stream, and the only proof Nut has of X threatening to call CPS are these screenshots, which clearly do not show X threatening to call CPS. Conclusion, Nut's lying. Right? No, actually, in this video from 2025, Nut shares a bunch of screenshots. He shows them out of order. They don't have date stamps, but they do have time stamps. So what you have to do is scrape through the video and take a look at every screenshot he shares and compare it to other screenshots that he shared elsewhere and try and figure out if they line up with any of the other conversations that he shared in those screenshots. That way you can try and reconstruct the conversation he was having in the screenshots. In the 2025 video, I found this screenshot, which you can tell based on the timestamps that it occurred before the messages in that tweet. In these set of messages, she still doesn't even threaten to call CPS. She just says that CPS might be doing something about what's happening with his little brother. However, Nut posits that this is a veiled threat about calling CPS, which is a perfectly reasonable argument to make if he has some other evidence to back this up. Back to the tweet, just kidding, the 2025 video again. Here's some screenshots of messages that occurred an hour later. Nut says, "Are you gonna keep threatening my little brother?" And she says, "Not gonna harm bro, want better for bro." This is the first screenshot I was able to find with the mention of there being any threat. Now with that weird ass response to his question, you might assume that she is threatening to call CPS and coping about how it's actually gonna be better for Nut's little brother. However, these messages are an hour apart and these two were clearly texting each other constantly, so we don't know the context of what's going on in this conversation. She could be responding to the threat accusation by saying that she's not going to harm him. Because we haven't established that this conversation is about CPS, she might think that the threat accusation is some sort of violent threat. As you'll see in later messages, X talks about the poor living conditions and dirty house that Nut lives in. So when she says she wants better for bro, she might be referring to that. The missing hour of messages might be a conversation about his dirty ass house. Additionally, if these messages were in fact a cope about making a CPS threat, Nut probably wouldn't have responded with "alright bet." Now that we have the first set of messages before the set of messages that he shared in that tweet, let's go back and read the messages in the tweet with the context. X states, "Dog, you cannot bathe bro in a bathtub that hasn't been cleaned since 6 years ago. Be for real." Then Nut accuses her of threatening his little bro, to which she says, "No, you don't get it," which can either be read as a denial, or if she did actually make the CPS threat, she's trying to justify her actions and say that Nut doesn't get it, and that what she's doing is actually right. They then call each other weird. Let's get on to the second message in that tweet. Just kidding, we're going back to the 2025 video because there's another screenshot in there that you can tell occurred in the middle of this conversation because of the timestamps. In this message, X says that Nut's actions call for extreme measures. Now, you might think we finally found the smoking gun, but there's 3 minutes of messages between the last screenshot and this one, and they were texting each other multiple times a minute, so we don't know what the extreme measure in question is. She also tells Nut to leave her alone, again, like she's been doing since May 29th, and keep in mind this conversation was on August 25th. Let's go back to the tweet. In this screenshot from 7 minutes later, Nut accuses her of threatening his little brother again, to which X responds by talking about his dirty house. Now we're finally starting to pin her down on the CPS threat thing. Because she responds to the accusation of the threat by talking about his little brother and his dirty house, she knows that the threat must mean the CPS threat. In the third screenshot in the middle there, X replies to the message from Nut that says, "Stop speaking, you threatened a 4-year-old for no reason." And she says, "No reason is crazy, I gave you like 1 million. I'm an illiterate fuck because that says 10 million, but I'm not gonna redo the tape." She no longer denies making the threat and just tries to justify her actions. Now you might think that this screenshot on its own is the smoking gun because she doesn't deny the threat when responding to this message. However, you need to follow the entire conversation to know that the threat in question in this message is the CPS call threat. In the fourth and final screenshot of that tweet, there's nothing really of value, besides maybe Nut accusing her of projecting, which is pretty rich coming from him. Now let's go back to the second tweet and read that screenshot, because that screenshot is related to this conversation too. So now we've been to 2 tweets and 1 random YouTube video for a total of 3 different places to put this conversation together. In this final screenshot, Nut states, "Just remember what you said about my lil bro," to which X replies, "Just remember I have your address." Now we know that she's aware of the CPS threat accusation and has failed to deny it multiple times. Her responding to this comment about Nut's little brother by saying she has his address is her doubling down on the CPS threat. So now we know that she did in fact threaten to call CPS. Because Nut lies so consistently, you have to fact check every word he says if at all possible, which sometimes leads to what we did just now, where we go on a wild goose chase just to discover that Nut was telling the truth this time. Now if you thought we just went through way too much effort just to find out that Nut was telling the truth, I'm gonna show you something that'll piss you off even more. In this post from X that's shown in the August 26th stream, X explains that Nut's phone number is blocked. In that same stream, Nut would also complain that X never picks up the phone, probably because his number is blocked. This means this conversation where the CPS threat happened couldn't have occurred on the phone and must have occurred on Twitter, where all of these conversations we've been reading happened. Let's bring the very first screenshot back up. Now we know that X actually did make a CPS threat. That message that says you're blind if you don't think CPS will do some shit is clearly the message that she sent after she made the CPS threat, meaning Nut's retarded ass could have just scrolled up in the chat and taken a screenshot of the part where she actually made the threat instead of posting all of this unrelated bullshit on Twitter. Nut claims we're obsessed because we keep watching his streams and videos and bringing up his old dramas, but in this case you literally need to be obsessed in order to side with Nut. If you weren't obsessed, you would probably just pull up the tweet with those 4 screenshots and come to the conclusion that he was lying about this. Why is this discussion of the Child Protective Services threat so important in the first place? Well, Also, a large part of Nut's defense is that his exes are crazy, and this is one of the few pieces of evidence we have that X is crazy. So in order for Nut's crazy bitch defense to work, he needs for this to be true. Speaking of obsessed, how would one even know to look at the 2025 video since it's so far outside of the 2024 drama if one is going back to look at the 2024 drama? When Nut says you can go look at the old videos and have all your questions answered, what he really means is every video posted before the day he said you need to go back and look at the old videos. Basically, his entire archive. And you need to look at all of the streams too, because sometimes he'll randomly talk about the drama while he's playing Siege or something. This archive is 422 gigabytes, with 177 hours of streams and 89 hours of videos for a total 266 hours or over 11 days that you need to watch in order to do your due diligence like Nut asked. And no, Nut, privating your live streams like you did on July 5th doesn't stop me because I've obviously already downloaded them. We'll talk about why he privated his stream VODs later. Of course, it's completely unreasonable to search through 11 days of content and retain all that information in your brain and try and figure out what to do with it later. What I did was use AI to transcribe all of his videos so that I could quickly search the transcripts for keywords and figure out which videos I actually needed to watch and find clips where he's talking about the drama. So yes, Nut, I am obsessed, and you should be thanking me for being obsessed because it means I found all of the evidence and put it into one place for you. And now that I've expressed this, and I'm literally the one who told you that, you can no longer make fun of me for it.
Thanks for using something I already expressed against me? Was that supposed to get me, my nigga? Like, I'm literally the one who told you that.
Okay, I was being really dramatic there. Nut seems to think that we watch him because we hate him, but I don't hate him. I don't know about y'all, but I find this shit mad entertaining. This dude's life is like a telenovela, a Spanish soap opera. Get it? Because he's in a drama with a bunch of Latinas? Anyways, the next major update in the Nut drama would come in August of 2024. This is the part of the story where we get to the video that was taken down via privacy complaint. Thankfully, Wayback Machine actually has the title and description of this video saved, which is probably going to make it a lot easier to figure out what happened in this video. In this video, Nut discusses the false rape allegations that Coworker brought against him.
I don't need consent.
I'm gonna go ahead and put up front that these allegations that she brought against him are indeed false, and I also don't condone anybody going into his chat and calling him a rapist. Anyways, with that gay-ass disclaimer out of the way, let's get back into the timeline. We'll go ahead and add an event in August and call it Falling Out with Coworker. Like I discussed earlier, Nut was talking about some sort of situation with Coworker on July 20th. However, it's unclear if this is the final fallout with Coworker or if this was just like a simple relationship drama thing. We're just gonna pick August for the timeline because that's when he told everybody that Coworker accused him of rape. Let's start by talking about the first couple minutes of this video, which you might assume is the least interesting part of this video given that most of the video is about rape allegations. However, these first couple minutes are actually the most entertaining part, because as you'll see in the August 26th live stream, it would cause X to go into Nut's live stream chat and talk a lot, and she also posted a bunch of stuff about Nut and YouTube posts. Now, just like her Twitter, her YouTube is deleted, so we only have what Nut showed in the August 26th stream. And like I mentioned earlier, he does this annoying thing where he doesn't hit read more or expand the screenshots, so we only have what he showed. However, just what he showed is still Kino. I'll forgive you for assuming that Coworker was the one that filed the privacy complaint and got this video taken down, but it was actually X. In the 2025 video, Nut shows the email he got from YouTube about the privacy complaint. There's two URLs here. The first one is this video we're talking about now that thankfully the Wayback Machine captured. And if you go to this video, it does say it was taken down for a privacy complaint. The second one is the video that Nut made about his court case with X, which thankfully didn't get taken down. In that same 2025 video, Nut explains that the 4 seconds that got claimed contained an image of X's face, and he actually still has the video and shows us the 4 seconds that got claimed.
Fucking CPS. Bitch, I dare you to call CPS.
Daring X to call CPS is a truly gigabrain move by Nut here. Anyways, from this, we can deduce that the first section of this video that's labeled Dumb Bitch is about the CPS threat. In the 2025 video, Nut would claim that he showed X's face for his own safety.
So, you know, when I'm getting threatened, I'm gonna post a public image for my safety and shit.
This is a bold-faced lie. Even on the surface of it, this logic doesn't make any sense. As you'll recall, Nut is well aware that posting stuff about X online antagonizes her, and previously he was doing this in order to get her to unblock him. So him posting her face in a video is obviously gonna antagonize her. Provoking the person who's threatening to call CPS is obviously not beneficial to your safety. Neither is daring her to call CPS while you're knowingly provoking her. Now, what if there was a legitimate reason to call CPS? Nut screenshotted this comment that X left on the Coworker video, where X says she's obviously threatening him so he can take me seriously. So there never was a legitimate legitimate reason to call CPS. X was just clearly doing this to get back at Nut. Unfortunately, X missed her opportunity to use the same defense that Nut did. I'll be honest, I didn't really threaten to call CPS.
I'll be honest, I didn't really threaten to show her nudes.
But I mean, I was trolling a little bit. I was trying to fuck with his mind.
I was trolling a little bit, you know, I was trying to fuck with her mind.
Cause that's what everyone's been doing to me recently.
Cause that's what everyone's been doing to me recently.
Clearly, in the same way that Nut was wrong for making the revenge porn threat, X is in the wrong here for making this CPS threat. However, I do want you to keep in mind that this is after months of him provoking her by posting private information online in order to get her to unblock him. And it's unclear what Nut posted in that day in August that got her to unblock him so they could have this conversation where she made the CPS threat in the first place. Nut claims that at some point X gave him consent to post the image of her face.
Let's say she didn't consent. Which she did, but she took it back. She like didn't consent, then she consented, then she took it back.
If she ever did consent, Nut doesn't have any screenshots of it. The only screenshots we have are her asking if he's gonna abide by her non-consent. Now, it's possible that she did consent and Nut just didn't screenshot that part of the chat. Because like I expressed earlier, Nut's stupid ass tends to not screenshot the relevant parts of the chat. Honestly, looking at this image again is making me seethe, bro, because I know he could have just scrolled up a bit more and taken a screenshot there. But now that I've expressed that I'm mad, you can no longer make fun of me for it.
Thanks for using...
Okay, I'm not gonna play the clip again. Frankly, this discussion about whether or not he got consent to share that image is kinda gay. So we're just gonna move on to what I think is the real reason that he used the image. As we know from videos later in this drama and videos from outside of this drama, Nut loves putting together videos where he destroys bitches epic style and Gangnam styles all over their faces. Listen to the cocky bravado Nut has in this clip again.
Fucking CPS. Bitch, I dare you to call CPS. Matter of fact, I'm about to throw up the picture of you that I was asking to post on the screen right now.
Even though he only shows a few seconds of the deleted video, it's pretty apparent what this first section labeled Dumb X is. By now it should be obvious that Nut knew when she made this threat that she wasn't actually going to follow through with it, and he clearly just posted this to dunk on her to his audience. He never actually believed he was in any real danger here. The whole thing about posting her face for his safety was just a big old cope. After daring X to call CPS, Nut would get his wish. Sort of.
Cause she was literally trying to call police and shit. Everyone's like, bro, there's nothing you can do. That's a public image. You can't do anything. You could try to get a restraining order.
She later would try to get that restraining order. Anyways, after this video went up, X called the police on Nut and accused him of stalking her. And this actually wasn't the first time that the police had been called on Nut for stalking. But we'll get into that when we get to Coworker. Before we get into Coworker, there's one more hilarious message from X that we should look at.
This is the quote of a lifetime, bro. I'll never forget this quote. Tricking you and lying are two different things. Yo, bro. That just explains the relationship right there.
Let's put on our thinking cap, Nut. These messages are obviously about the trickery she pulled with the unblocking thing earlier. She tricked you because she unblocked you and then reblocked you right afterwards, but she didn't lie because she did unblock you. But Nut's such a moron, he doesn't get it.
Holy fucking retard.
Nut really doesn't understand just how hard this bitch outplayed him with that maneuver, and it's hilarious to me. I also like those last messages at the bottom where he says, "You might be a femcel on God." And then in a message that he's typing but hasn't sent yet, you can see, "You sound insane and chronically online," which is just classic gaslighting, calling the other person insane when you're acting insane. And also, chronically online is some crazy ass projection coming from him.
I don't got anyone to talk to except my stream.
I'd also like to point out, Nut has this image in his Google Drive saved as X lying about blocking, which she clearly never did lie about blocking him, and also lied on RO. I'm not sure how these messages show that she lied on her restraining order, but whatever.
That just explains the relationship right there.
Now let's get into Coworker. Woohoo! Epic rape allegations.
I don't need consent.
Before we get into this story with Coworker, I want to sow the seeds of doubt in your mind about what really happened in this story. In the August 26th stream, we would discover that X and Coworker were texting each other on Instagram and discussing the ongoing drama with Nut behind the scenes. From these messages, I think it's clear that X initiated the contact with Coworker, and we're going to go ahead and add this to the timeline. The reason X was able to initiate this contact is because Nut shared Coworker's Instagram name and handle. So while these bitches were colluding behind the scenes against Nut, it wasn't random, and they both shared similar stories with each other regarding their experiences with Nut. I'd also like to bring up this comment from X on Nut's August 26th stream. If she said you forced yourself onto her knowing you deliberately moved my hand on your typo, penis maybe? You're not smooth, you're cringe. Got him. So X was unsure if these allegations from Coworker were real, which is why she reached out to her. If we continue, can we talk about the moment at Walgreens you grinded your boner on me from behind? So X has been to the Walgreens. I know from some of her other comments she doesn't work there, but she's been there. So it's possible she actually met Coworker and knew Coworker. Later, Nut would act like it's insane that these two were colluding and DMing each other behind the scenes or whatever, but it's totally possible they knew each other, and that's why X reached out to Coworker to see if she actually did accuse Nut of rape. Now, X would get permission to post some of the DMs from Coworker in those YouTube posts that I was talking about earlier. Now, the reason all of this silly bullshit with the DMs between the two of them is relevant to this story is because one of the DMs that was shared is the post that Nut has been using for years to exonerate himself of the rape allegations. And this post does indeed exonerate him of the rape allegations, but there's other details in here that actually change the story quite dramatically. Now, here's the post. Instead of me reading it, I'm gonna make you guys suffer through watching Nut struggle to read this paragraph.
Let's just read this fucking comment from the girl that made the rape allegation, the cheater from work. She said, yeah, there was no rape allegations. Oh, okay. That makes sense. I never claimed that he raped or assaulted me. Interesting. My ex-boyfriend that I cheated on. Nah, bitch, you cheated on this nigga. I was literally there.
Okay, so far so good. We made it through a sentence and a half. Coworker contests that she ever cheated and claims that she was already broken up with her boyfriend, but that's not a very important detail, honestly.
With Reggie supposedly was texting Reggie on IG. What the fuck does that mean? And said that I was said... What? Nigga, did I just have a stroke? With Reggie supposedly was texting Reggie on IG and said that I said Reggie assaulted me. I don't know how I read that.
Me neither, honestly. As an avid Instagram user, it's kinda stupid Nut doesn't know what IG means in this context. Anyways, you probably see where I'm going with this. Coworker claims that she never accused him of assault, and that instead it was her boyfriend or ex that did it. These are the seeds of doubt that I wanted to sow earlier. Coworker is claiming that Coworker's boyfriend made this up. So we're going to add him to the timeline since he's a character in this story now. Unfortunately, all of the evidence Nut has of this rape allegation being made in the first place is in the deleted video. So we're going to have to test this theory against what's left. Earlier I mentioned Coworker called the police on Nut for stalking.
It's because she lied to the police and had them showing up to my work questioning me in the fucking office about stalking.
This actually occurred prior to the rape video.
I'm so tired of him. Literally, I just want to leave me alone and he can't move past it. Wonder why. I'm getting called a rapist and the police are showing up.
If Coworker never accused Nut of rape and it was just something that Coworker's boyfriend made up, then her going to the police for stalking instead of over the rape is consistent with the theory that Coworker's boyfriend made this up. Now let's go back to Nut reading that post and see how he responds to the idea that Coworker's boyfriend might have been the one that made this up.
That was an accusation that was formed between Reggie and my ex. Okay. So now we're gonna say me and your ex made this up. Alright, bro. Alright. So yeah, we just formed that together at work in front of her. That makes sense, bro.
So because this message isn't worded perfectly to convey exactly the idea that Nut needs to hear right now, he just dismisses it out of hand and comes up with this ridiculous scenario where he's one of the ones who decided to accuse himself of rape. Clearly, what this message is saying is that Coworker was never involved with the rape allegation discussion.
Because I never claimed Reggie assaulted me. The only thing that I reported was him harassing me by texting me nonstop every day. If only they invented something like a block button. It's crazy.
If only the block button worked at getting you to stop harassing X. I know it's obvious to say that you can just block somebody if they're sending you messages you don't like, but Nut's already found a way to circumvent being blocked in order to keep harassing somebody. So this comment is just ridiculous coming from him.
Like, why is she against me right here, bro? Like, what did I do to my ex, bro?
I honestly just have no words here. Let's actually read the text on this post from X where she shared these DMs. Proof she never claimed any allegations other than harassment for being president doing too much. I believe that's what DTM means. So the reason X is against you here, Nut, is because she agrees with Coworker and that Coworker never made those rape allegations. And yet you told everyone that she did.
I literally put her in the video. I asked her on Twitter nicely if I could put her in the video for a fucking time reference of what was happening in the situation.
Okay, so we're just lying.
A time reference and like to get the stories, how I went from one relationship into this bitch lying to me. And somehow she misconstrued this as me bringing her into it.
Well, the first 2 minutes of this video is you blasting her. Perhaps deservedly so, but don't act like it was just for a time reference. I love how in this one instance he's worried about making it easy to figure out what the timeline of events is.
Nigga, I just wanted to show you so people knew what was happening. Like, the girl making the accusations just said she didn't do it. So there's proof, guys. What the fuck are we talking about, my nigga? What are we talking about?
Because Nut's an illiterate moron who didn't understand that message at all, he never refutes the claim that Coworker makes that Coworker's boyfriend was actually the one who brought this accusation. Now let's go to the 37-minute response video that Nut made recently and listen to him retell the story of the rape allegation. And we'll try to see if this theory that Coworker's boyfriend is the one who brought this still makes sense.
There was a girl I worked with. She knew I just got out of this relationship with the girl you see on screen. She took advantage of me.
Nut asserts that Coworker knew he was down bad, and used this to her advantage in order to get Nut to sleep with her. We'll try and assess this claim later.
We were fucking, we were kissing, we were fingering, she wasn't fingering me.
Okay, he catches himself there. She was not fingering him.
All the shit. Didn't tell me she had a boyfriend. Well, no, she told me she had a boyfriend before we fucked. But at that point, we were already kissing and touching and sucking meats. So
He doesn't catch himself there. Wait, they were sucking each other's meats?
So you already cheated, and then we fucked after anyways. Like I said multiple times, I'm not the good guy in this situation, but I didn't know she had a boyfriend at first when she was already cheating. She starts being weird and shit. She's like giving off weird vibes, like she's about to like lie on me or something. I'm like, all right, bro, I'm ending this.
Do you guys really believe this? He decided to end this because of weird vibes? What does that even mean? This weird vibe part of the story is actually explained by some of Coworker's posts, but we'll get to those when we get to those. Spoiler alert, Coworker claims that Nut was the one acting weird.
I'm gonna tell him what happened. And she's like, no. Dude, I literally screenshotted all this. Don't I have like a video of this? Actually, I don't have a video because my ex filed a privacy complaint and got the video removed.
The fact we don't have that video makes this really aggravating.
But I'm sure the screenshots are somewhere out there on the fucking planet.
They're not.
And she's like, no, I'll tell him that I cheated. Okay. And then all of a sudden, she starts telling me how he's fucking angry at me. He's about to show up to my work. Fucking crash out on me. Pissed as fuck. I'm like, what the fuck, nigga? So I start talking to this dude. And he's telling me, yeah, bro, you forced yourself on her. She didn't want to do anything.
So the first person that Nut heard this rape allegation from was actually Coworker's boyfriend. Now this doesn't prove or disprove the Coworker's boyfriend thesis, because it's possible she told her boyfriend this and he relayed it to Nut. But let's really think about this sequence of events again. It starts with Coworker telling Nut that she's gonna tell her boyfriend that she cheated on him.
And she's like, no, I'll tell him that I cheated.
Then Coworker comes back to express to Nut that her boyfriend is mad.
She starts telling me how he's fucking angry at me. He's about to show up to my work.
Coworker doesn't express that she made a rape allegation here, just that her boyfriend is mad. The simplest explanation that I can think of is that both Nut and Coworker would easily just assume that Coworker's boyfriend was mad because of the cheating. Any other explanation of her not telling him involves her intentionally pitting these two against each other so they fight or whatever, and it'd be kind of insane. The reason I keep yapping and yapping and yapping about the Coworker boyfriend thesis is that a lot of Nut's later behavior is explained by Nut by pointing to the false rape allegations, so it matters a lot who brought them.
So basically, it was a bitch that couldn't take responsibility that she cheated on her boyfriend.
Or it was her boyfriend crashing out because he was just cheated on and trying to stir up drama and drive a wedge between you two by inventing this rape allegation. And he might have been coping really hard with the fact he was cheated on by thinking, oh, there's no way my girlfriend would ever cheat on me. It had to have been force of some kind. She wouldn't do that to me. Nut then shows the screenshot of the DMs we discussed earlier with the caption, and here's a screenshot of the girl who accused me denying it herself. And this DM, she doesn't even deny that there was a rape allegation, just that she was the one that made it. So I guess to this day, Nut hasn't read and comprehended what's in this message.
And then after that conversation, she still gave me roadhead. We still fucked.
So Nut continued to engage with Coworker even after this. We'll see later Nut is willing to forgive people for cheating.
I forgive you, bro, for what you did in the past.
But do you think Nut was so down bad that he would forgive somebody who accused him of rape? Or do you think the conversation went more like, I never accused you of rape, and then they continued to engage? Wait, didn't this motherfucker just tell us a minute ago he ended this because of weird vibes?
She's like giving off weird vibes, like she's about to like lie on me or something. I'm like, all right, bro, I'm ending this.
If she accused you of rape, then she already did lie on you. And also, you didn't end this. Yeah, this story just doesn't add up at all, and I'm probably digging into it too deep and thinking about it too much, trying to figure out which pieces of the story are completely fabricated. Anyways, for now I'm gonna stop theory crafting about whether or not Coworker is telling the truth in that post that Nut keeps sharing, just so we can move this story forward. Let's get into the parts of the August 26th stream that we haven't already covered. Now earlier I mentioned he privated his live streams. He privated all but 2, and this is one of them, so he really wanted you to see this one.
After this stream, I'm blocking my ex. Say what you want to say. You can't paint me in a bad light, bro.
So X has finally cracked under the pressure and started posting a bunch of stuff about Nut on YouTube, and she crashed out and threatened to call CPS in his DMs. After months of begging for her attention, Nut is finally gonna block her and stop talking to her.
Call CPS, bro. Do it. I fucking dare you. I actually dare you. I want you to.
This guy doing the internet tough guy act after you followed this story is just insane, man. You can't take this motherfucker seriously.
If you want me to tell them the reason, like, I'm about to really tell them why we broke up.
What he's actually about to do is spew a bunch of bullshit and cope. The first cope comes after reading this post from X where she says they broke up because he insisted on moving in with her after a month. In a different post, X attaches these screenshots where Nut's talking about moving in together on February. In the same post, X says that Nut was a virgin in February, so I just sort of picked February for the timeline. They probably started dating in January, but frankly, I don't think it changes anything. But I want you to remember that they broke up and got back together again multiple times. Yeah, this is going to be messy to unpack, but trust me, we're going to figure out what happened here. I 100% believe X's story here. Remember in the 2023 Crashout where Nut was so desperate to move out of his parents' house that he actually considered going homeless? To me, it does seem like he would try to move in very quickly with her just so he could get out of his parents' house.
And no, that's not why we broke up, because I insisted on moving in. I said, listen, I had a plan, all right? Because unlike you, I thought we were in a relationship. We were trying to plan something, a future together. So I did want to move in.
Okay, so he did want to move in, and he doesn't even dispute the timeline on this one. His main refutation to X's claim here is that he was willing to wait until X and her mother moved. I'm going to skip most of the details he shares because they're not really relevant.
I was willing to do this, and I was even willing to wait for her and her mother to move. So I wasn't trying to put all this pressure on her, all right? So yeah, I did try to move in. Sorry for trying to further a relationship. But if you want to know why we really broke up, she actually posted the screenshots. Thank you.
While Nut's flicking through his tab looking for the screenshots that explain why they really broke up, he shows this post. X actually has some screenshots of the tweets that Nut made when X did the trickery on him. This post is from July 29th, one day before the July 30 Cry stream, so this adds up. She said if I delete this post below, I'd get unblocked, so I did and she lied and blocked again. Alright, we've been over this a million times, just play this clip.
Holy fucking retard.
Save the screenshot, lil bro, good try. Now I'm really about to cook this lying bitch. She also said she's still been stalking my Twitter and watching all my live streams to see if I mention her. Gee, I wonder why she's stalking your live streams and your Twitter.
Holy fucking retard.
We're not gonna try and make sense of these tweets that I can't read, and I don't really care about X's personal life anyway. But I do want to point out that last message from her says, so you're not gonna delete it. Okay, don't ever contact me again. Cope. So she's literally complaining about Nut posting DMs in the DMs that Nut posted, and also telling Nut not to contact her again.
Yeah, May 28th. So remember in my video I said we broke up May 29th?
Yep, and you were still bothering her all the way up until August 25th, 3 months later.
I'm trying to figure out why she hates me so bad. What did I do to you? Holy fucking retard. She's literally denying it, and she's the one who posted the screenshots. This is her. What the fuck are you talking? This is what I deal with, bro. She's trying to make me crazy, bro.
X is trying to make me crazy. We already are. This is just gaslighting. Come on.
She was trying to like hide something. And as a nigga that's about to move in with you, I can't have you hiding shit, alright? Like, if you really think I'm gonna do a future with you.
She didn't want you to move in with her. She said it was too early. Also, not revealing things to you turned out to be a great idea, because you would just post that on Twitter.
So, yeah, she was telling the story, basically why she cheated on her boyfriend.
So Nut tells a couple of stories about X cheating on her previous boyfriends. Nut explains that he broke up with her over these stories, and we're gonna skip them because they don't fucking matter. We got this long ass post from X, and I'm not gonna read the whole thing. You can if you want, and honestly a lot of the stuff that's in here is corroborated by the things that Nut admitted to. In this post, X says that she broke up with Nut because after she opened up to him about her previous relationship, Nut shamed her for it, which sounds believable, but anyways, there is a debate between the two of them. After the fallout with Coworker happened, Nut actually tries to reconnect with X over the phone.
So you didn't break up with me, I broke up with you at that point. And then eventually, you know, I called her again because of the cheating situation. I was really down bad. I just wanted to talk to her. You know, I was like, I was willing. I was willing. I was like, all right, bro. I forgive you, bro, for what you did in the past. We can do another relationship if you really want to.
Naturally, he gets rejected.
I'm down. And then she rejected me. So, alright. That shit hurt. I can't lie. That shit really hurt.
Recall this voice message and the eventual phone conversation that Nut was able to get with X before the July 30 Cry stream.
I just wanted to talk, like, you know, because I'm going through a situation at work. I just wanted someone to talk to.
Earlier I said Nut was telling the truth here, and that's just because it lines up with my Nut fan theory. Future bannable here. I yapped about my theory for about 45 seconds, but I'm about to disprove it in a minute. He was trying to get back with his ex.
Guys, are we seeing this? I'm the bad guy. This is what I have to sit here in this fucking chair and deal with, and you wonder why I cry every night. I'm done crying, by the way. I'm over this shit.
He would cry later that stream.
Fucking crying while playing Siege, bro. This is crazy. I'm supposed to cry while playing Siege, well, I mean, it's fitting I'm playing Siege. How did I get with this girl? I promise she was not like this when we first met. Well, maybe a little bit. She's kind of stupid.
This motherfucker makes it too easy.
This is the quote of a lifetime, bro. I'll never forget this quote. Tricking you and lying are two different things. Holy fucking retard. He started it. He literally started it by posting screenshots online. Okay, let me get to the next point.
Correct. That does appear to be the case.
So after this, I kept asking too, like, why she wanted the relationship to end. Like, I thought shit was good. I didn't do anything bad to her. And she wouldn't give me a reason. She said she didn't run the relationship. I'm like, oh, okay, why? Is there a reason you don't like me anymore? No, I just want to be alone. So you just want to be alone. So in my head, I'm like, what the fuck? She just straight up switched up. No, absolutely nothing. So on Twitter, I'm like, all right, I'm going to post a screenshot. I forgot what it was exactly. It was something about her boyfriend that cheated on her. I'm like, she'd rather be with a nigga that cheats on her over and over than the dude that...
Wait, that means that this conversation where he got rejected and she told him that she no longer wanted a relationship, since they already didn't have one since May 29th by Nut's own admission, must have occurred prior to the July 30 Cry stream. Holy shit, the puzzle pieces are finally starting to fall into place here. Let's re-examine some of the evidence again.
You know, I was like, I was willing. I was willing. I was like, all right, bro. I forgive you, bro, for what you did in the past. We can do another relationship if you really want to.
This means Nut is coming back to his ex on bended knee after already having posted private information about her in order to talk to her in the first place, and saying that he'll forgive her for that relationship that he previously shamed her for, and that he'll take her back again. Then he gets rejected, and how does he respond?
So in my head, I'm like, what the fuck? She just straight up switched up. No, absolutely nothing.
Fuck you mean she switched up on nothing? You guys hadn't been in a relationship since May 29th, 2 months prior.
So on Twitter, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna post a screenshot. I forgot what it was exactly. It was something about her boyfriend that cheated on her. I'm like, she'd rather be with a nigga that cheats on her.
She'd rather be with a neighbor that cheats on her than a dude she broke up with 2 months ago? Is that what you're saying? Even if that's true, you clearly posted this as retaliation.
Over and over than the dude that fucking would drive 13 hours on 1 hour of sleep. True story.
Well, aren't you such a great boyfriend, huh?
What else can I think? If you don't give me a fucking reason, I'm like, wow, you like this dude that cheats on you more than me? Okay.
Have you considered that the reason is the relationship is over and she's moved on?
Also, she keeps saying that I'm asking for a relationship. I literally said, oh my... No. She said, I don't want a relationship, and you took that shit up the ass. I said, oh my god. No.
Holy copa moly.
And then she rejected me. So, alright. That shit hurt. I can't lie.
Nut shows this screenshot as evidence that he didn't want a relationship, but this is clearly something he came up with after he got rejected to just cope. X says, yes, Easy, I told you I don't want a relationship and you took that shit up the ass. That does appear to be what happened. Lied to me twice for legit no reason.
Holy fucking retard.
Nut continues to vent about how disrespectful X was to him, and I'm gonna cut most of it out, but here's one of the clips.
One of the times we hung out, she fucking slammed my truck door. That shit pissed me the fuck off, too. She's all, like, bro, she was always disrespectful to me for no reason, bro.
Nut also plays victim a lot about the CPS threat.
Oh man, contacting CPS, threatening a little fucking 4-year-old for no reason.
Unfortunately, it just doesn't work at all because he can't decide if he wants to be a victim or if he wants to be an internet tough guy.
Call CPS, bro. Do it. I fucking dare you. I actually dare you. I want you to.
Obviously, you can't simultaneously be a victim and also say literally, I want you to.
I want you to. Remember the guys in the comments? Remember, the people in the comments are saying I'm making myself the victim.
Honestly, after following this whole harassment story, I don't really have any sympathy for him anymore for this. He was bothering her for months, and when she finally crashed out and did something wrong to him, he immediately took it to the internet. The conversation where she made that CPS threat and the video that he uploaded talking about the CPS threat were within 24 hours of each other, for crying out loud.
Guys, she's calling me. But you know what I'm gonna do since she does it to me every time I call? I'm gonna hang up. No thanks.
Wow, you're so cool and base, Mr. Nut. The chatters in his stream thought this was an epic moment, but that's because they didn't really know what was happening in this story. If you do know what's happening in this story, it's actually kind of annoying that they thought he was so cool for this one. The only reason he doesn't want to talk to her anymore is because she started fighting back by making her own unhinged threats and posting her own screenshots of DMs with Nut and talking about Nut on the YouTube post. In my opinion, the reason he doesn't show a lot of these posts is because it destroys his victim of crazy bitches narrative. Because these posts detail a lot of the bad things that Nut was doing, he just straight up doesn't want his audience to see these. Take a look at this clip where I found that screenshot of his tweet again.
She actually posted the screenshots. Thank you. Thank you for posting the screenshots. Where are we at? Yeah, May 28th.
The only reason it's shown is because he just scrolls right past it as he's scrolling through all of her posts, and he just doesn't address this at all for some reason. He just scrolls right on by to the post that he actually wants to show. And even though he's looked at these screenshots and knows that she's posted these screenshots, he still just tells us what's in the tweet instead of just showing it.
It was something about her boyfriend that cheated on her. I'm like,
A lot of these also have multiple images attached, and very rarely does he expand the screenshots or click the arrows to see the other images besides the first one. He also rarely presses read more on the text portion of the post, and some of the text portions that I've been showing earlier were only on screen for a split second. But I'll be honest, guys, maybe there's no reason for Nut to even pull up these text portions. Because Nut is illiterate,
I don't know how I read that.
I don't even think he would be able to properly read these messages and refute what's being stated in them. Let's get on to the parts where he talks about Coworker. I'm just gonna put some of her messages on the screen. What Nut does is read these messages and just say that she's lying about everything in these messages for the most part. And a lot of what's being claimed here isn't relevant to the story anyway, but I'm just gonna go ahead and put them up in case you want to look at them.
Then he went crazy calling me every night and text me every day. Yeah, bro. So listen to this. Imagine you hang out with a nigga for the third time. It was definitely more than the third time. I guess outside of work. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Because we did a lot of stuff. Oh, okay. Fuck, I shouldn't have said that.
I don't really get it. Is it because he admitted to having sex with her on the clock or something? He shouldn't have said a lot of stuff in this stream, really. He also gets pretty mad about Coworker ghosting him.
I just ghosted him. A little. What the fuck is ghosted a little? That's not a thing, bro. I got ghosted for no fucking reason. Can I not get mad? Am I not allowed to get mad? That's fine, just crop out my username. We all know your username, shut up.
Well, we do now because you shared it, dude. Okay, one last clip before we move on. This one aged like a fine wine.
HR, my job hasn't done shit. My job hasn't done shit.
Let's get to the part of the stream where he cries and then plays Siege. Because he actually continues to talk about the drama while he plays Siege, meaning there's relevant information related to the drama in this entire 2-hour stream.
I hope one day I'm big enough, bro, so I can meet some of y'all, bro. Oh god, fucking crying while playing Siege, bro. This is crazy. I'm supposed to cry while playing Siege, I mean, it's fitting I'm playing Siege. Like, I didn't lie, and she did. The only difference is I did it online, and she did it in person. That's both public, bro.
He's talking about the Coworker rape allegations here. Coworker's boyfriend is there for a lot of the stories, but I can't say for certain whether or not he works there, but it's possible that all three of them worked at this Walgreens. If you subscribe to the Coworker's boyfriend theorem, what's really happening here is Coworker's boyfriend is going around telling everybody that Coworker accused Nut of raping her. And Nut is just so stupid he doesn't figure out that it's not Coworker herself spreading these rumors. Now, because Coworker, according to Nut anyways, was going around spreading this in person, he couldn't have had proof of her doing this in his Coworker video. I'd wager his proof in this video is a message from somebody else, saying that they heard about X's rape allegation. Or, if we pull back up the screenshot that Nut keeps using to exonerate himself, it could be the text from Coworker's boyfriend claiming that Coworker accused him of rape. I just realized something. Nut was willing to forgive X for cheating, and he was willing to engage with Coworker even though he knew, or I guess thought, because Coworker contests this, even though he knew Coworker was cheating. But once these women wrong him, he goes to the internet to shame them for cheating. This guy is just a real piece of shit. Like, why is this section called Cheater Coworker? You'd think it would be called like Coworker's Allegations or something, but I guess for the sake of the section title, the fact that she was cheating is more relevant than her accusing him of rape.
I was literally showing her own screenshot she posted, and she said I was lying.
Well, you were lying, and also you barely showed or read any of those screenshots.
Like, they even know they're lying. They're just doing that shit on purpose, bro. And it's not even like a character or nothing. That's insane.
Yeah, most of the clips at the end are just him saying a bunch of shit like this. And honestly, I'm just gonna put them here to piss off my own audience. And myself too, I guess. But now that I've expressed that we're pissed off... Okay, anyways.
Yeah, she's like, defame this, defame that. I'm reading your post. D-tier gaslighter on God. Like, it's like gaslighting to like it's D-tiers. It just gets me fucking annoyed and pissed. Like, dude, stop the facade. We all know what you're doing. Ooh, facade? See, bitches think I'm stupid. I don't know if it's because of my YouTube videos or the way my some girl before told me I had a nice accent. I don't know if it's because of my accent that I apparently have, or my videos, or my streams, or the way I talk, or the jokes I make. I don't know what it is, but people actually think I'm real life fucking stupid.
No commentary required for this one, honestly. Hit him with the clip again.
Holy fucking retard. Oh, I also forgot to mention when she was giving me head under the desk right here. Dude, she almost broke my dick. I'm not gonna lie. That shit hurt, dude. That shit fucking hurt. That shit real life hurt. My dick was hurting for like 6 days. I'm not gonna lie. She's like, I want to see if I can take you all the way. Dude, I was backing up in my chair like this, bro. I was like, I had to push her head off me. I was like, damn. That shit hurt so bad, bro.
Nut posting his own L's again. So this chick can't give good head, she has a hairy butthole, her pussy tastes bad, and she's a libtard. But this is the girl you were playing weird games with posting private information on Twitter so you could try to get her to unblock you, so you could talk to her, so you could try and get her back? Holy shit, man.
Has the problem been resolved? Yes, sir. She got exposed, embarrassed, probably angry as fuck because she kept spam calling me.
One last event before we move on to the court cases.
I go to her house. She tries to get her restraining order against me. I go to her house before all this. I go to her house trying to get this fucking shit cleared up, that I'm not a fucking rapist and stupid shit.
So Nut went to Coworker's house, and I believe this happened after the August 26th stream because in none of the messages where Coworker is talking about how he was harassing her does she mention this. So I think most likely this happened after that stream because she probably would have brought it up. Wait, what was it Nut said earlier?
If only they invented something like a block button. It's crazy.
Okay, so he's found a way to circumvent the block button for both of these people. If only there was a block button in real life. Oh wait, there is. It's called a restraining order.
She tells me to leave. Guess what I say? Alright. Did you tell her at least? Yep, I told her everything. She fucking lied. Okay, I left.
So Nut claims no conversation really happened when he went to her house, and that she more or less maybe just opened the door and went, please leave, and then he did. And according to Nut, Coworker claims that a conversation did happen there. I guess you can choose who to believe.
So I tried to resolve the issue. She lied to police officers, saying I was stalking, that I found her address, even though she gave it to me.
So Nut claims she lied to the police. I think what really happened here, she told the police that he showed up to her house, and then when the police questioned him, they asked if he had her address, and he was just like, yeah, I have it, she gave it to me. I don't think Coworker actually lied to the police at all. Obviously, the important bit here is that he showed up to her house when she didn't want him to. Nut says the police did nothing here, and I think that's just because the bar for criminal stalking, which is the only time they would do anything, is really high. What Nut doesn't realize is that the police didn't actually do nothing. They likely made a report about this, and they would have noted in their report that Nut admitted to showing up to her house, and she would be able to use this in court against him later, potentially. So the police were actually helpful to Coworker, at least a little. We did it. We finally made it through the harassment part of this story. All of the events that come after this are just fallout from the events that occurred here. Both of these women would file for domestic violence restraining orders against Nut, and I'm gonna do what Nut asked me to do here.
Go on Google, nigga. Look at domestic violence restraining order.
Nut spends a bunch of time in his response video explaining that domestic violence restraining orders in California are just restraining orders against someone you've dated or had an intimate relationship with. There's a lot of different things these orders can do, but the main ones that these women were going for were no contact orders where he isn't allowed to text them and not harass them by talking about them online. Because these orders are more or less offered as a public service in order to protect people, there's no court fee and you don't have to have a lawyer. Now, Nut and X both live with their parents and Coworker works at Walgreens, so they're brokies. And indeed, none of them brought lawyers to these cases. I'm not gonna read all this bullshit, but the burden of proof in these cases is quite low, and I imagine especially for the type of restraining order that they were trying to get. Because all this restraining order does is stop him from texting them or talking about them, it's not really actually a serious punishment to be handed one of these DVROs. I imagine the burden of proof is a lot higher for the ones that involve like taking away your right to own firearms and making it so you can't come within a certain distance of a person, but that's not the kind that they went for. Nut's first DVRO case with X would conclude in September of 2024, and Nut won. We'll go ahead and add this victory to the timeline, and I'll offer my thoughts on it later, but first, let's hear Nut explain what evidence X brought to the court.
Like, she was literally sitting in the courtroom, giving her, like, well, what do you even call this shit? A testimony? Her side of the story? She was, like, trying to talk shit most of the time. She literally said, she basically called me a rapist, nigga. She's like, I'm not surprised he has a rape allegation against him. The way he talks to other women, I have all these screenshots right here. It's pretty sad and it's just really desperate. And the fucking judge had to cut her off and shit, like, alright, bro, you're just talking about his character now. Like, this has nothing to do with anything. She was showing screenshots of me talking about my coworker.
So according to Nut, X didn't even talk about the harassment story that we spent the last hour putting together at all, and spent most of her time talking shit about him or talking about Coworker, which isn't related to X's harassment. So the things Nut did to her and that she did to him with the CPS threat were never even brought to the court's attention, so this whole thing was just a waste of time. Now let's get into my opinion of what should have happened. Let's do a thought experiment where we assume X actually brought the relevant evidence to the courtroom, such as the things Nut admitted to on his live stream and screenshots that she had of some of the tweets that he was posting. Now we only have Nut's side of the story here because he didn't show all of the screenshots that X was posting, so we don't know the full extent of what all Nut was doing to her or posting about her, but honestly, we have more than enough to make a conclusion here. There's also some things that X wouldn't have had proof of, such as their phone conversations, but Nut literally admitted to threatening to post her nudes on the phone in a stream, so she should have brought that clip to the courtroom. I think it's unquestionable at this point that Nut did indeed harass her, just based on his own words from his own videos and live streams. So what would Nut's defense be against this harassment? One obvious angle might be to bring up the fact that she threatened to call CPS on his little brother, and Nut actually did bring this one to the courtroom's attention.
And there's a lot of them. Trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. If you saw the live stream, I was pulling up a lot of these, bro. There's like 40 fucking papers in here, bro. Because I don't know about you guys, but you can't really, like, threaten people and then get away with it.
Let's go on Google, neighbor.
Go on Google, nigga.
From reading about these domestic violence restraining order cases, it's pretty apparent that just because you did one wrong thing while you were being harassed, it doesn't preclude you from getting one of these DVROs. And that just makes sense on the face of it. Imagine a physical abuse scenario where somebody goes to get one of these DVROs and the abuser just brings up the time that the victim fought back. Obviously, that shouldn't preclude you from getting the restraining order. In fact, it's probably quite rare that there's actually a perfect victim who just continues to take abuse and abuse and abuse and never does anything. In fact, up until that August crash out where she made the CPS threat, X actually was a perfect victim. Because Nut publicized every little bad thing she did, right down to her slamming his truck door and just being mean to him, we know that the CPS threat was the one and only thing she did during this that was wrong. In a DVRO case, the judge is supposed to consider the totality of the circumstances and the context that surrounds the event that happened. Knowing that X was being harassed up until she made that threat actually does sort of make this scenario analogous to the abuse victim fighting back. X responded to Nut's online threats and harassment with her own online threat. In conclusion, I think Nut deserved to lose this fucking case, but I guess X just didn't know how to put this shit together, man. Maybe Nut was right, X is stupid. Because I hate my viewers and myself with a burning passion, I'm gonna subject us all to more clips of Nut bragging about winning this case and calling X a liar.
Are you aware that I'm in the right and you're wrong? Like, was it just me? But I'll tell you what, those smiles got wiped away after, you know, the result came out. She was tearing up because she wanted my videos removed. The judge asked me 3 times if I'm gonna remove the videos, and I said no every single time, bro. And I got one more to go, one more case to go, bro. and I'm just gonna tell the truth again, bro. That's all it is. As you can see, it says right there, denied, bro. So if I'm in the wrong and I've been capping this whole time, I don't understand it, bro. I really don't get it. But apparently I'm a narcissist. Like, what the fuck?
In October, we would get another cry stream. Woohoo!
And unfortunately, it's another cry nigga stream, you know?
You know it's down bad when it's another cry neighbor stream.
Yeah, I'm jobless, you know? Yeah. They told me I was working today just to bring me in and fire me.
Let's go ahead and add an event to the timeline in October 2024. Fired from the Walgreens. Now, I think it'll be easier if I just summarize some of the stuff that happens in this stream, because a lot of it's not super relevant or important, and it also takes Nut forever to explain a lot of it. After the events of the August 26th stream, they would start an investigation at Walgreens related to Nut and Coworker's behavior, and Nut would get placed on suspension until they concluded their investigation. Nut complains a lot in this stream that they called him back to work just to fire him, but the reason they do it this way is because if you tell somebody that you're bringing them in just to fire them, they might go postal, so you don't want to tell them beforehand that the reason you're calling them in is to fire them.
A situation someone else brought up on me, and I have a restraining order against me, so I can't even like mention this bitch. You know what I mean? So it's like even more fucked up because I can't really even talk about what I want to say because it's illegal.
So I went on Google, neighbor. We're not going to add this restraining order to the timeline yet because the restraining order he's talking about here is the temporary restraining order you get before your final hearing. So we'll add the outcome of this restraining order to the timeline when we get to the final hearing.
If she would just be a fucking adult and talk, that's all this fucking had to be, bro.
Whether or not you believe they could have talked and hashed this out depends on whether or not you believe Coworker's testimony here. Unfortunately, you don't have much of her testimony because Nut didn't show all of the DMs that she sent X, but if we pull some of them back up, Coworker claims that she was scared to talk to Nut or even talk to her manager about Nut because he had already been engaging in crazy behavior towards her. Recall that Nut and Coworker started hooking up as early as May 31st. Also recall that Nut tried to get back with X before the July 30 cry stream. This means between the May 31st hookup and the eventual July 20 conversation where he wanted to talk about Coworker, we can deduce that the first falling out between these two was as early as June or July, leaving at least 5 weeks of time between their fallout and the events that led to the August 25th video. This means that some of the behavior that Coworker is describing here, like Nut getting mad about her ghosting him and then spam texting and spam calling her, could have actually occurred weeks prior to the August events. In this message, Coworker claims that she stopped defending herself against him because he was already engaging in crazy behavior against her and twisting her own words against her. So according to Coworker, the reason that they couldn't have just talked and hashed it out like adults, as Nut put it, is because she was already trying to stop talking to him or about him weeks earlier. Now, as easy as it would be to point to Nut's behavior in the drama with X, we need to evaluate Coworker's claims in a vacuum in order to be fair to Nut, instead of simply pointing to Nut's moral character and drawing conclusions based entirely off of that.
How do you use someone coming out of a relationship and don't tell them you have a boyfriend and then say you raped them and then I lose my job somehow? And then you go and talk to my ex who just threatened my little brother. How do I...
Let's unpack this statement. Firstly,
how do you use someone coming out of a relationship?
Nut claims quite frequently throughout the 2024 drama videos that Coworker manipulated him or used him somehow. Between the 2024 videos and the retelling in the 2026 video, Nut is kind of inconsistent on the timing of Coworker telling him that she was cheating. In 2024, he was telling us that it happened after the first encounter and she even lied to him and told him that she didn't have a boyfriend in the first place. And in the 2026 retelling, he tells us that she told him during the first encounter. I'm honestly starting to question this narrative that she even lied to him at all. But even if we ignore that and assume that she did lie to him initially and tell him that she didn't have a boyfriend, he did eventually find out. And he still continued to engage in sex acts with her after this. What Nut wants us to believe here is that the touch of a woman turns him into a feral animal who loses agency over his actions, and that Coworker knew this and exploited it. Yeah, this whole shit is fucking ridiculous. Be for real, dude. We know he was able to forgive X for cheating. In my opinion, he just didn't give a fuck that she was cheating. Pussy is pussy, right? And at least this one didn't taste bad. Or maybe it did, who knows? If it wasn't for that restraining order, he probably would have told us. What a shame, man. I wanted to hear all about Coworker's pussy. In the 2026 response video, Nut actually lets the mask slip on this victim narrative that he's trying to paint here. here.
Like I said multiple times, I'm not the good guy in this situation.
By now, it should be obvious that this whole thing is just a cope that he made up to tell his audience, to explain why he was knowingly engaging in sex acts with a cheater while simultaneously shaming her for cheating. Let's get on to the next part of this statement.
And don't tell them you have a boyfriend and then say you raped them, and then I lose my job somehow.
We'll get to the rape part later, because trust me, it comes up again. Later, we would find out that Coworker also lost her job.
And then you go and talk to my ex who just threatened my little brother.
Nut doesn't realize the reason these two are talking is actually because of him. Because he harassed X until she took it to the internet and started posting screenshots of DMs like Nut was doing. It's pretty obvious that in the same video where he drags her, she would message the other female in that video. The rest of the stream isn't very interesting. Nut spends a good chunk of time at the end putting X's face on the screen and talking about her some more, which he's legally allowed to do because her restraining order failed, of course. He doesn't reveal anything new or important though. Wait, no, never mind. There is one important thing.
Her asshole might have been a little hairy, but she was Mexican, bro. That's...
Thank God, I was worried we weren't going to hear about her booty hole no more. In November, we would get another video about his firing from the Walgreens, and in this one, he shows us just how big brain he is by doxing his workplace.
I did work at the Walgreens on and I tried to make complaints about it. She kept talking about me at work, but her auntie is one of the managers.
Nut does some theory crafting about how the management was against him or something, but it's sort of irrelevant because she got fired too.
And guess what? She got fired too, just like me. But wasn't she the problem? But I got fired too. Okay, just making sure. I was trying to resolve this the entire time.
Because they very annoyingly didn't give Nut a reason why they fired him, they just say that they fired him for gross misconduct. We don't know what Nut trying to resolve this actually entails, or what he said during the investigation. In these meetings, Nut was probably telling management that Coworker was spreading these rape allegations, and I guess if they talked to her, she might have said, no, it wasn't me, it was actually my boyfriend. If Coworker really was going around spreading this allegation, I have a hard time believing that management wouldn't have heard about it from other employees. They also could have fired them for having sex at work, which isn't necessarily against Walgreens' policy. It's only against their policy if it unreasonably interferes with their work performance or creates a hostile environment. Fuck, man, the level of A-logging I'm going to on this shit is just ridiculous. Nut didn't even read this document, let's be real. Anyways, because they didn't give him a reason, we annoyingly still haven't been able to prove or disprove the Coworker's boyfriend thesis. In this video, Nut also shows videos of rats getting into the food. And no, not videos of himself, but like of actual rats. The animal. He also delivers some incredibly brain-dead takes, which are pretty funny to me.
The first thing I'm told at both Walgreens I worked at, if someone's stealing, you gotta let them steal. You can literally go to any Walgreens and just steal, and the workers can't do shit.
Do you propose the workers fight the shoplifters or something and put themselves in danger? What are we talking about?
Holy fucking retard. Who was friends with other managers who lied on my restraining order with fake info, half-truths, spewing truths. She kept talking to me about me, spreading rumors, talking shit to other coworkers at the store.
Okay, he yaps about this a lot without specifically addressing what the lies are, but one detail that gets through here that is actually kind of important is the detail that Coworker brought witness testimony to the restraining order. This might be useful later when we go to evaluate her restraining order. Alright, we're done with this video. Let's get on to the next cry stream. You know I love a good cry stream. This cry stream would be a result of him losing his final court hearing with Coworker in December.
Basically, final court update, you know. This is on the girl that called me a rapist and lied to police and all that. Got me a restraining order.
Womp womp. Look, I'm not trying to be a dick. Okay, maybe a little. But all this restraining order does is stop him from talking about Coworker or texting her. And Nut's already stated all the things that he's wanted to state about Coworker. And they're no longer even working together anymore, so it's not like there could be new stuff for him to say. Also, in the October stream and in this stream, he continues to talk about Coworker and reiterate the same accusations against her. I don't know how that's not a violation of the restraining order, but whatever. I ain't no snitch.
This nigga read the first sentence and laughed and said, oh boy.
Nut would complain about this, but that first hearing where Coworker was granted the temporary restraining order, Nut wouldn't have been there and Coworker would have presented most of her evidence there. The final hearing is really to give Nut an opportunity to defend himself. What do you reckon his defense was actually just stupid? Also, before this final hearing, Nut would have been made aware of the claims against him. This means that he's seen the Coworker's boyfriend thesis because that would have been in Coworker's documents. Do you really think Coworker showed the judge all of those text messages that he was spamming her with and didn't ask her, well, did you really accuse him of rape? She brought witness testimony, and I'd wager that those witnesses testified that Coworker wasn't actually the one spreading these rumors. Also, Nut continues to talk about this court case even though he's under a restraining order, and he just says that they lied on the restraining order without addressing what the specific lies are. Now, even though he was talking about it, maybe he thought it would like hurt his case if he brought up new information or something, so he just didn't. But in the November 2025 video, the restraining order was expired, and he never addresses this. He even brags about how the restraining order is expired and shows Coworker's name and face on Instagram again.
Also, speaking of Coworker, hey bitch, that restraining order is over. It's over, bitch. Changing your Instagram name isn't gonna help anything. You're still a lying, cheating whore.
And in his 2026 response video, the restraining order was also expired, and he still doesn't address it for some reason. Nut's the one who keeps showing us the Coworker boyfriend thesis in that message that he shares.
Like, this shit's a joke. I didn't get to present no evidence, nothing. So yeah.
This is just a fucking lie, because later he says he presented evidence. Like, what the fuck?
That shit got reduced as fuck. It was supposed to be 5 years, but I presented evidence about how I was getting threatened and she called me rapist, so they reduced it to minimal. Like, the minimal shit. Like, basically don't text her. And it's 1 year. So it got reduced and it's minimal as fuck.
I don't know what this threat is, so I can't address it, but I do find it funny that earlier I was arguing X still should have won her case despite threatening him, and Coworker here won her case despite Nut claiming that she threatened him. I'd also like to point out about how he's bragging about how minimal it is and meaningless it is because it got reduced or whatever, as he's crying his eyes out and wiping his eyes with napkins. Nut also does the tried and true great legal strategy of disparaging the judge.
And that judge is fucking biased as shit, you bitch ass nigga. You fucking bald spot having ass nigga. Big ass bald spot in the middle of your head, bitch ass nigga. And bitch, wait October 31st, 2025, when I drop that fucking video on you, you stupid cunt. Fuck you, bitch.
We would never get that video, sadly.
I can, dude, now I'm thinking about it, I could probably go on the sidewalk after the restraining order's over and just make a video there. Because they can't do shit about it. It's crazy how much shit you can get away with when you really think about it.
Oh man, do I really have to explain how stupid this one is?
Holy fucking retard.
I'm not even gonna bother explaining how moronic this is, but I will say in the 2026 video he expressed the same sentiment where he thinks it's a good idea to go record a video in front of Coworker's house now that the restraining order is over.
I can quite literally go to her house right now on the public sidewalk and film a video calling her a whore. Which does kind of sound like a good idea. Tried the emotional distress, lawsuit. She made me lose my job, all that.
Wait. What did he say? Play that clip again.
Tried the emotional distress, lawsuit. She made me lose my job, all that. 1 down, 2 to go, bro.
Play the clip from 2026 again to really hammer this home.
And they said I had 2 more court cases. I only had 1 more as another restraining order.
There was a 3rd court case, an emotional distress court case that you brought against Coworker. You lying sack of trash. Flampock was right this whole time. Fuck you. Naturally, we don't know anything about this case because Nut really just offhandedly mentioned it here, and it's the first and last time we ever heard about it, so I assume it was just a case that went nowhere, so he didn't tell anybody about it. But here we have it. The clip, boys, of what the 3rd court case was.
Tried the emotional distress, lawsuit. She made me lose my job, all that. 1 down, 2 to go, bro.
Actually, there is one clip of something Coworker was talking about that might be from the emotional distress case, because it really doesn't make any sense in the context of the restraining order case, but here it is.
And she says, he doesn't even need his job to make money. He makes enough money from streaming. That's the craziest statement.
Yeah, this is obviously stupid because we've seen this man's YouTube analytics. But let's be real, I think Coworker is based for making Nut explain to the judge that he fell off and makes no money.
Nut downfall go crazy? Shit, my downfall started in July, bro. Oh, well, my life downfall. The channel downfall started in like 2022.
Okay, we've finally been through all the evidence. Now time to give an opinion on whether or not he deserved to lose this one. Coworker brought witness testimony and likely a police report, and she claims that it wasn't even her spreading the rape allegations. Now earlier Nut said he presented evidence, but he also complains in that very same video that Coworker was doing this in person and he didn't have evidence. Which must mean the evidence he presented was the screenshot of the message from Coworker's boyfriend or something like that. This is probably why the judge read the first sentence of his defense and went, oh boy, Because in the documents Nut would have been served before showing up to this court hearing, he would have been made aware of Coworker's claim that it was actually her ex-boyfriend. And him pulling up to the courtroom with a screenshot from her ex-boyfriend, or maybe it was somebody else, actually just strengthens her argument. So yeah, his defense was just stupid. Nut actually had 3 opportunities to be made aware of this defense. Firstly, in that message he misread. Secondly, when he went to her house and claimed that no conversation happened. And thirdly, in her court documents. I know I've been making fun of Nut for being illiterate, but do you really think he sat down and read those court documents and didn't get it? We've all been wondering this entire time why he never addressed that claim from Coworker, since it's incredibly important. In my opinion, and this is just my opinion because what I'm about to say is very accusatory, I think Nut is intentionally ignoring this. He doesn't even want to consider the possibility that Coworker's boyfriend lied to him and caused him to act out. Nut more or less admits that what he was doing to Coworker was a little insane, but it could be justified if she actually was accusing him of rape. But Nut's ignoring the possibility that he was lied to because it sort of just blows up his entire defense. At any rate, let's pull back up the stuff I found on Google, neighbor. Judges can issue DVROs based on a survivor's testimony alone without requiring corroboration for witnesses. And Coworker actually did have witnesses, those witnesses being the management from the Walgreens. A finding that the survivor's account is slightly more credible than the respondent's denials. Now, we don't have much from Coworker because Nut only showed 3 of her posts, but frankly, Nut's refusal to address a really obvious gaping hole in his defense, that being the Coworker's boyfriend thesis, makes me believe that Coworker is far more credible than Nut. In my opinion, he also deserved to lose this second court case. Or I guess third. Well, Nut, somebody finally did what you asked.
Can y'all watch the videos?
We're finally at the end of the very lengthy and convoluted 2024 drama. And as long as this bullshit took me to cover, I want you to keep in mind that it's much shorter than the source material. In conclusion, I think Nut deserved to lose both of these court cases. And I guess the third one too, but that one didn't go anywhere. Is this the outcome you wanted, Nut? Is this the outcome you expected?
I love hitting women. I don't need consent.
Hope y'all enjoyed part 1. I stole his intro, so it's only fitting that I steal his outro also. See you in part 2.
Oink oink. Oink 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 oink. I'm the best piggy. Oink